Friends, I've decided to do this small video just to tell you how to meditate. I think even though meditation is mainstream, uh, these days pretty much every celebrity in the world talks about meditation. Um Wherever you go, doctors for psychosomatic diseases, they prescribe meditation. It's kind of gone mainstream. So the worldwide, everybody keeps talking about. But when it comes to meditate, very few people really know how exactly to meditate. It still remains a mystery. I am from corporate world, so uh, even though we have corporate crash courses, 7-day meditation sessions, so 7 sessions of half an hour each, 8 sessions, 10 sessions, this kind mostly for de-stressing. But nobody really knows, nobody tells how exactly to meditate, and that becomes a mystery. So today I'm going to tell you about something which is very simple yet very profound and which is authentic, and the way to meditate. Meditation has been there, at least it's recorded for last 5 to 6,000 years back. 5,000 years back in Bhagavad Gita, one chapter is dedicated to meditation, chapter 6. And if you get a chance, read about it. I'm going to touch upon very few points on meditation. Who qualifies to meditate and how to meditate, and then you need to understand what the effects are going to be if you meditate. Okay, there is ultimate goal also for meditation. But whatever may be your goal for meditation, who qualifies to meditate is very essential. So what are the preconditions? So if you refer to Bhagavad Gita, so this is the small Bhagavad Gita which I follow generally. You can find this handbook anywhere. This must be few dollars. In chapter 6, it says very clearly, if you live a life of moderation in working, moderation in rest, moderation in food, moderation in sleep, moderation in entertainment, then you qualify. People who are either workaholics, or people sleep too long, people party too much, they don't qualify for it. So the best pre-qualification for somebody who wants to meditate is to live a life of moderation. Maybe you're working for 8 and 10 hours a day, which is standard corporate life. You have to sleep 6-7 hours a day. Or you can have some entertainment, spend time with your family. If you are leading a normal life, not excessive binging or having a lot of food, a lot of drinks, that doesn't qualify. So you understand what I'm trying to say. So basic requirement for somebody to meditate is to have a life of moderation. So that is the first and most important point. The next thing is how to meditate. What should be the object of meditation? We all meditate for various things, because people like you and me, all of us who are listening to this video, people who are practicing or aspiring to practice meditation, we are all from intellectual background, right? We can concentrate on various things, on writing a program, studying physics, studying mathematics, or doing some finances, accounting. We know how to focus our attention on something. So when the attention is focused on outer objects, that could be anything to do with the worldly activities, that is called concentration or focus. But when the same attention is turned inwards, that means instead of focusing on a specific object, to start focusing on yourself, your own self, that is called meditation. So meditation is nothing but focusing on your inner self, and that takes you in an inner journey. So when I talk about inner self, it becomes a very tricky word. So what really is self? For most of the people, it starts from the body. So you feel that myself is my body. So if you are a beginner, start focusing on your body. Bring your awareness first to your body. So that should be the starting point. Spend some time, sit in a silent place, spend some time, bring your awareness on your body. Just scan your body with your awareness. Feel your head, feel your hands, feel your legs, feel your torso, feel the entire body. That could be a starting point. The second point, which is very, very essential and very simple. Let's say you are sitting inside a room and somebody calls your name. Before you say, hey, I am here, you feel it inside that you exist. I am here. And that feeling of I am is something which comes from the self. This is what everybody has spoken about. There is no debate about it. So this is spoken in Vedas, Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita. By all enlightened seers have spoken about it. I don't have to take names. But the feeling of I am, the Bible talks about I am that I am. When Abraham or somebody asked God, so who are you? How do I tell people? I think it was Abraham. And Lord said, I am that I am. So that feeling of I am comes from the self. The self is also called cosmic consciousness. It's also called Brahman. It's called God. It's called in various names. So focusing your feeling, your awareness on the feeling of I am is the beginning of meditation. So then you will say that, can I continue to focus? My mind starts meandering. It starts going from here to there on various subjects. It's very natural because you spend almost like 8-10 hours working, another 3-4 hours doing our worldly activities. So 14-15 hours we spend on normal activities. So mind is focused in worldly activities. So when you start to meditate, it's but natural. Your mind is going to meander. It will go away into worldly activities. But practice of meditation doesn't mean that you will start focusing on your inner self or the feeling of I am the day you start. So what's going to happen when you start focusing your attention on the feeling of I am, mind will stay there for a few seconds and then it will wander away. Then you become aware that, hey, I was thinking about other stuff, my office, my wife, my children, my family. You bring it back to your feeling of I am, which you feel in your heart. So it goes out, again you bring it back. And as you keep on practicing, a time comes when it starts staying in your heart for a longer and longer period. And then what happens is, in the beginning, once it starts happening, your number of thoughts in your mind starts subsiding. So when thoughts start slowing down, you will feel much more relaxed. So beginning of every meditation, in a period of time, maybe it might take 6 months, a year, you will start experiencing less stressfulness in your mind. So mind experiences much less stress. And second thing, the texture of your awareness, the texture of your feeling of I am starts changing. In the beginning, you don't feel much, but over a period of time, you feel there is something that exists within your heart. And then that feeling turns into joyfulness, happiness, which is unconditional. You don't have to rely on anything. And then slowly, it turns into deeper peace. And ultimately, it leads to the awareness of who am I, which is called enlightenment. It's nirvana. But those are kind of extremely high level of states. But for a beginner or somebody who is trying to practice, the very fact, only 2 things you should be focusing on. First thing is that live a life of moderation and start every day practicing a little bit of meditation by focusing your awareness or your attention on the feeling of I am, which everybody has that feeling. Whenever somebody tells you something, you say, I am this, I am that, I am that, I am doing this, I am doing that. You keep talking about I am all the time. So everybody feels the presence of I am. So when you say I am, you always put your hand at your heart. So there is inside your heart, you always feel I am. So instead of focusing your attention outwardly, focus your attention inwardly. And rest of the magic will begin to unfold on its own. So this is all the secret. If you want to know a little bit more about the details, read this one. There is a whole chapter dedicated in Bhagavad Gita on meditation, right? So you can read it, which talks about who qualifies to meditate and what you should practice, different milestones, and ultimately what happens, right? So everything is in detail given in chapter 6. Spend little time. It's all written in English. So everybody who is intellectually capable of reading and understanding can understand it. There is another beautiful teaching by Raman Maharshi, who was one of the greatest enlightened seers of our times, you can read his teachings also. That's called self-inquiry. So how to do the self-inquiry. That teaching of meditation is also very beautiful. But remember one thing, all that you have to do is to focus your awareness on your own self and on the feeling of I am, feeling of your own awareness, and the rest will automatically happen. Hopefully that resolves the mystery, and this particular technique has been provided in Bhagavad Gita, in Upanishads, in many Vedic texts, okay, which is simple to practice. Whether you believe in God, you don't believe in God, whether you are a Christian, you are a Hindu, you are a Buddhist, you are anybody, Jewish, you have any kind of the belief system, doesn't really matter. You feel yourself as your own existence as I am, so just focus on I am, and the rest of the magic will start beginning. All the meditation is boiled down, the entire gist of meditation is this: focusing your awareness or your attention on your own self. When they say focus on your own self, that means focusing your awareness on the feeling of I am, which always comes from your heart. And that's all I have to say. I hope this video will help you to start practicing meditation. Thank you all.